The Lord be with you.
Jesus Christ be praised. Good.
Don't get ideas. I wasn't at my best. But I'm not going to scrap with you again.
You've got quite an unusual accent. Where are you from?
Can't you tell? From Znaimo in Moravia. Lovely country. All vineyards and bonny lasses.
Well, you don't like it here?
You see any vineyards and bonny lasses here? The locks are broad, all right. They didn't exactly lift your spirits, but more the other way around.
You're related to the Semines, if I understood right.
Aye. I wouldn't be here otherwise. My great-grandmother married young Lord Semin's great-uncle. It's not every day that your, first cousin, once removed, gets married.
Twice removed, but that doesn't matter.
Ah, who cares? There'll be a good old shindig, that's all that counts.
You're a long way from Moravia. You must hold Lord Semine in high esteem.
My pa holds all his kin in high esteem, so he sends us all over the place. But we didn't have all far to go. We were at a wedding in Rottenburg last week, a wee bit from Yihlava. Before that, it was a bairn's christening at Koschenberg, and another wedding in Dalchin. Then a friendly visit to our kin, the Shellbergs in Coolberg. That's all I mind. I haven't been home for 6 months, and I didn't care.
Why don't you want another fight?
Why would I want a stramash? I'm nae man of violence. Tradition has been honoured already.
Is it your custom to beat up envoys who come to the courtyard?
Envoy or no, when a new bloke turns up and gives us a queer look, he gets a clout in the gob. That's fair, isn't it?
Well, no. It's not a custom where I'm from.
See? I learnt you something about Moravian ways.
The Lord be with you.
Good day to you. What would you like?
I'm here.
Right. Come on, then. We'll go to Lord Semine and you can tell him everything.
And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
sir.
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yuriko is shit-faced. And your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No, that's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. By the way, the fellas at the gate say you came here on foot.
Yeah, I did.
Christ above! And how are you going to ride with us? On the back of my saddle? You're a bit big for that, ain't ya? And I'm a bit too old.
You got a stud farm here, don't you? Couldn't I borrow one of your horses?
Aye. And then we'd never see hide nor hair of you, nor the animal again. We don't lend horses. But you're in luck. Our groom brought in a grey nag not long ago. Tell him you've got to ride out with us, and he'll give it to you for a decent price.
All right. Thanks.
Well, that should be that. Unless you've got any more questions.
Actually, there is something I'd like to ask about. I'd like to go and see that wedding.
Wouldn't we all, lad? And what would you do there?
Well, I heard Lord von Berghoff will be at the wedding, and I need to speak with him.
Son, I don't know if you're serious or yanking my pizzle. Anyways, you're Radovan's hand, ain't ya? He'll be coming to the wedding. He's making a wedding gift for the groom. Stick with him, and maybe he'll take you with him.
I'd like to go and see...
Wouldn't we all, lad?
Well, I heard...
Son, I don't... Anyways, stick with him.
This Yurko and his mates, who are they?
They're Lord Semine's kin. They're fine as long as they...
Only they're from Moravia, so they're never far from...
But what can I tell you, lad? Each to himself. Besides, they stick with...
And you, sir? What is it you do?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you. If you haven't figured me...
No, I just meant, what exactly is it you do for Lord Semine?
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you. As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Semine's grandpa gave me. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my gnarly club with me. Wouldn't use anything else. I was used to it. And more than once helped me to, well, I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one piece.
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be
Or Captain Headcracker. You're right.
We should probably get going.
My thoughts exactly. Off to the courtyard then. Excuse me.
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
Sir, do you think I could deal with something else?
All right, but make it quick, before Dorothy starts bothering me about...
Thank you, sir. Here, Mutt!
You silly mutt.
The Lord be with you. What do you need?
I heard you might have a cheap horse for sale.
Well, I sell quite a few horses here, but by the looks of you, you must be talking about that grey nag, eh? But all she's good for are sausages. That old bitch won't let anybody touch her. I was already suspicious when that traveller sold her to me. He said he found her running about near the Rock Tower Pond.
Grey, old, and someone found her by the Rock Tower Pond. That's where we were ambushed. That's my horse. That's Pebbles.
What do you mean, yours? I bought it fair and square. I admit, it was only for a few groschen from some suspicious lad who found it down by the Rock Tower Pond, but that horse is not branded, so it belongs to me now.
She's my horse. I rode in on her from Ratai, in the retinue that was attacked down by the pond.
Right. You happen to need a new horse, and this one just happens to be the one you already own. Does it have your brand? It does not. So you are out of luck.
Who sold her to you?
I told you already. Some young lad. He wasn't from here.
What did he look like? Where'd he go?
You're a bit hasty, eh? He had black hair and a big beard. And he looked like he'd been sleeping in the woods. And his breath smelled like hell. But I couldn't tell you where he was headed.
Look, you know they attacked an entourage by that pond, right?
I heard about it. That news spread through the land like wildfire.
And the one who sold it to you told you he found it by the pond, right?
Well, he did, aye.
So it's not entirely impossible she belonged to me.
Maybe not impossible, but I paid for her.
Aye, but just a few groschen. You said so yourself. Wouldn't you rather be in the good graces of someone who might have been part of that expedition?
Maybe so. All right, I'll give her to you. But you owe me one. Go and get her then. If she remembers you, she might even come when you whistle for her. We're gonna miss that one.
God bless you.
I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right, stay close.
As you say, sir.
Where will we start searching, sir?
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskovitz.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskovitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
Well, with all due respect, sir, I wouldn't want to offend your relatives.
Don't worry, they're my wife's relatives. I see what you're getting at. So how did this little brawl of yours end up?
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice hammering.
Oh, that's no surprise. The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
It would be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Semine. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on a mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
What weapon will you give me?
What would you like?
A mace.
Well, that might not be too far off. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Oh, what the... Blood! Oh, that's a lot of blood. This should stop it.
What do you say, son?
I didn't even work up a sweat.
Climb off your high horse, sonny. You might have won, but you ought to show a bit of respect.
Oh, leave him be, Gnarly. He's young. He'll figure it out on his own in time.
Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he's saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
And since you won, I've got something else for you as well. My shield.
Isn't that a bit too much, Gnarly?
Sir, my left shoulder's fucked anyway. I can't carry no shield.
True enough.
Thank you.
I needed that. It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. And you're pretty handy, youngster. You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you set foot outside the village. But do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Semine. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein, it's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Scallops, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight, sir. I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping a dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing. So, we're in Troskovitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
As you wish, sir.
Oh, you pooch.
Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apoleне on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semine on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semine would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the groom's family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semine is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin. While he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry, though. People will find out you spared no expense for your daughter's wedding.
Let's hope. More like that old miser will go around saying the opposite and put me to shame.
I don't think Lord Semine would do that.
Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why's that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and Radovan praises them, but I know people. That pair have mischief in their eyes. I can tell.
That'll be all. Thanks.
How can I help you today, friend?
How are things, Master Scribe?
What would you like to hear? I don't spread gossip.
Well, Troskovitz isn't exactly a small village. People are probably doing well.
And why shouldn't they be? The war is avoided out. I think we can especially thank our lord.
And what's your lord like?
Von Burgau? My goodness. Just like his chamberlain Ulrich. Though...
Who's this Chamberlain Ulrich?
Ulrich von Schaumburg manages the estate of... You see, as the royal chamberlain, Sir Otto spends most of... So Ulrich is actually something...
Are you from here?
No, I'm not. I come from nearby...
So what are you doing here?
The plague and a spell of bad luck. The plague took most of my relatives to their maker, and I didn't want to return home. Bailiff Thrush offered me a good position here, so why...
Show me your way.
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything?
Well then, young man, how did it go?
They were spotted here, sir. Going to the east, towards Apoleне.
So to Yitchin? The bastards! And what about my goods?
Oh, they were driving so fast, it was falling off the cart.
The thieving scum. Let's hurry. To Yitchin!
Sir, I can send a message to the Yitchin captain of the guard.
Oh, it'll take too long. We'll go and get them ourselves.
Won't you be missing preparations for the wedding at home, sir?
I will. Praise God. If I have to choose between riding to Yitchin and listening to Dorothy's endless fussing, I'll take Yitchin any time. Besides, there's a nice inn along the way, the Three Cats. We can spend the night there.
I remember that place, but I'm not sure, sir, if they'll let the two of us set foot inside the door.
Oh, gnarly, that was 15 summers ago. God knows if the place is even still standing.
True. Still, we'd better keep our eyes peeled. They might not have gone to Yitchin. They could have turned off somewhere. Or something could have happened. They might have been ambushed, maybe.
Will you give over with that? I'll bet my braves they weren't ambushed. More likely we'll find them boozing at the Three Cats.
That'd surely be the best outcome, if that old dive is still standing. Let's go, then. So, St. Anthony, which way now?
While you're praying to the patron saint of lost things, go and have a look along the road, Gnarly. And you, Henry, have a look to the left.
All right, sir. But don't forget, my eyesight ain't what it used to be.
Well, that's what we have the youngster for, isn't it? Off you go.
A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
You found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is, then. Gnarly! Back here!
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the cart back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses, too. Yarmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
That's the change in the economical situation, sir. The burghers have more rights, and they make smart use of them. They put their coin to work for them. They've got shops, baths, inns, mills, while the nobles sit waiting until Jack from Backwater Hamlet brings them 3 groschen in taxes on St. Gallus's Day.
You're right there. Only Jack hasn't even got 3 groschen these days. None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one, not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Oh, hold up. This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar right enough. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir.
The blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Of course, the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old young milker would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
You got ambushed by them bastards that's on a rampage around here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. We still can't be sure of anything.
Aполене. I spent a lot of time running around here as a young lad.
Oh, not me. This place always gave me the shivers.
God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my leg stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Semine was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why's that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the ropemaker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins and white ladies. Every night, we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows and the whirring of the spinning wheel... Oh, shh. Wait a mo. Do you hear that?
I do. There's somebody there, sure enough.
Let's get closer.
You two are arseholes.
What do we do now? I heard more than 2 voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slattergo used to come make a fire here and jump over it. And so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire, sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
Sure, sir. With a bit of luck, there might be some girls there too.
I could do without girls with voices like that. Now get going.
You was never ordained for it. I was. Fucking ordained you. Just 'cause old Stumble poured some water on your head in the woods don't mean a damn thing. But Stumble's a priest.
Those definitely aren't the
Stumble is
blacksmith's
a
hands.
drunken old fool who claims he was... Can't even quote one.
So how's it look, Sonny? How many?
I saw 3. And they don't look like Radovan's hands.
And what about my goods?
I didn't see them. It looked more like a patrol. I reckon there might be more of them hereabouts.
Seems we can't avoid a fight. I hope you're ready, Henry.
Sure am, sir.
I wouldn't worry about Henry, sir. He showed us mettle and training. So, how are we gonna do it? Do you just want to charge them, sir?
What else do you suggest?
Someone could go back up top and try to take one of them down with an arrow before we charge them. There's a good view of the camp from up there.
Good idea, Henry. And I see you're equipped for it, too. Climb up top, and as soon as you shoot the first time, we'll charge them. And make sure you don't hit one of us.
Right you are, Captain.
They do something. What? You imagine they did. Right up in the dark.
You're right. They rolled around and gave off fire.
Aye, Bart. You two are arseholes. I'd have nothing to do with a wench like that. It ain't right having a pair like that. She might be hexed, or maybe a witch.
You see hexes everywhere. It ain't that strange. Even my uncle had a pair like that. Each eye a different colour, and he
You've got to be kidding.
Are you yanking my pistol?
I'll hack you to ribbons! Let's see what you can do! Nice hit! Another one!
No food for me here.
This day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here, and none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
Well, we can't ask them now.
Oh, well. That's how it goes sometimes.
But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
Shouldn't we send for reinforcements?
Who would we send for? By the time we return, the bastards will be gone along with my goods.
Don't worry, lad. This scum is no match for us.
I am. Let's go.
I thought we had everything clear, then, sir. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Make no difference to me, Venser. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you. Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
Like that time at the Shani, sir?
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours.
Ahem, gentlemen. I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods. But I'll take them back now. Just hand them over, and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Semine, sir. Of course you can have everything back. As long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
That's how you're going to get it.
Get!
You know, Matt, we're up.
Rise him up! He's done for!
He's at it. You wanker. Give up! Bash him on the head! Here's the lot!
I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fucker!
And it's done. They got what they deserved, the fuckers. Henry! Hey, Henry! Are you listening? Come here!
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
Did you see which way he went?
No, I had other things on my hands. Besides.
I'll go and track him then.
Great. Hurry.
Please, let me go. I just want...
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to. Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
Can't you think of any other way out of this?
Well, you could let me go.
Why would I?
Maybe for coin.
Now keep your damn coin. None of that. One-on-one, yeah. But it must be clear to you that you're no match for me. Even if the noose is waiting for you, it's still a more pleasant death than getting your head smashed in with a rock. And believe me, I'll do it if there's no other way.
Fuck! All right, I'll come with you. But you'll put a word in for me.
I might. As long as you don't try anything.
Promise me.
I won't promise you anything. Now come on. I've got a prisoner for you, sir.
Excellent. It all worked out quite well in the end. Gnarly will take care of this scum.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, you deserved it. And now, let's get that accursed cart back to Semine. Want to ride? We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with his hands.
What's going to happen with that pair?
You mean Radovan's hands? We'll see. The one that ran for it, it's clear with him. The other fellow was tied up, so who knows what went down. Maybe he was innocent. Gnarly'll have a word with him, and we'll see what he tells us.
Sir, Venser surrendered because I promised to put in a good word for him.
Well, it's nice that you promised him, but I'm the one who'll decide on the fate of that scum, and it's quite clear to me.
All right. Could you wait a while? I'd better just check that I haven't lost anything while running around here.
All right, but make it quick. I was happy to get out of Semine for a while, but now I'm looking forward to being back at my own fireside.
Be on your way. Clear off.
Almost done.
So, job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Semin's courtyard.
Whew. That's a relief. And what happened to that pair of idiots?
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh. They did they?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules and brought the cart to him.
The bastards. I should have realised they were a bit too keen on work. And how did you get the cart back?
Well, I went to Semin, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to look for it. Me, Lord Semin, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down? The whole band?
That's right. They were hiding in Apoleне, along with the cart and the goods.
Indeed. Where else? The bastards. And what about my hands?
I'm not sure. Lord Semin took them and Gules to his courtyard. We'll see how he deals with them.
I'd know what to do with them.
Don't worry. I don't think Lord Semin will let them off lightly.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turned up. I'd be in a right mess if it didn't.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back for it. Who knows what happened to him? So now it's yours. It's been through a bit, but it'll still serve for a while.
Thanks. It'll come in handy. And have you got another job for me?
Young Lord Semin's wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truscovitz. What do you think of her?
Well, young Semin is marrying her, isn't he? Why would I have my eye on her?
Don't pretend. A statue of a saint would have his eye on her. Looks ain't everything, though. She's got such a sharp tongue on her. I almost feel sorry for young Semin. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
Yeah. And I hope she'll wait. Her name's Teresa. Her uncle owns a mill on the river in Ratai.
A girl from the mill? You want to watch out for them types. You might get caught up in devilry, lad. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble-born. Old Semin wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
A blade of first-class steel?
That's right. And that's just the problem.
Ah, I see. We don't have any welded steel for that kind of sword, do we?
God's nails. You really know your stuff, youngster. And you're right. We don't have the steel for a strong sword that won't break.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apoleне.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, he was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
What strange goings-on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition. But that's all I know.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollenia. But you'll have to ask the Truscovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the hermit's sword. But in return, you'll get me invited to Semin's wedding.
If it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Truscovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the hermit. But Henry, if there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation. Great! Come back anytime, friend.
Word about the price.
Very well.
Here.
Many thanks. Pleasure doing business. Take care.
Was sitting here.
What's the latest news?
Have you heard about the Dvorzhenka?
What Dvorzhenka?
You haven't seen one yet? A Dvorzhenka is a wild woman of the forest. You can find them deep in the woods or caves. Where they sometimes they hurt people, sometimes they help them. You shouldn't go there.
Why not?
The Semin lot did that. They were worried she might put young Lord Semin under a spell, especially now, because of the wedding. So they took care of her. And that's about it, I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. What's the latest news?
Nothing much. And I hope it stays that.
Greetings, innkeeper. I've come to apologize for the fight we caused. And also to ask if there is anything I can do to help.
Latch in the stable when the horses bolted, lad.
How so? Did something happen?
I had a couple cumans come in here and get in a brawl with the locals. What the hell?
Did anyone get hurt?
Bah! They broke a couple of pictures and Wojtek took a punching. Go and see Wojtek if you want. Maybe he'll tell you.
I need some advice.
You want some advice? Here's something. I catch you fighting here again, and I'll spank your bear.
I said I'm sorry.
But the cumans are still stinking up the place. Down to business. I don't have all day for you,
I promised Radovan the blacksmith I'd go and see Ambrose.
My God, lad, stay away from Ambrose the hermit. Sold his...
Yeah, I heard that as well. But it seems...
So why would an evil spirit suddenly start appearing near Aполене?
And has anyone sent to the castle for the priest?
Not at all. Bailiff Thrush, 4 strangers came here yesterday. They sat in the corner there.
What strangers?
They looked like monks, only they had daggers. I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on.
I'd like to get hold of that broke...
You'd hazard your soul for a piece of iron? I'd think long and hard before doing anything if I was you.
There's something else I need... What do you know about this...
Stanislav, the herds boy. He comes running into the village that night, all terrified. And the very next night, it appeared in the rocks. There's this conciliatory stone cross there. There's some devilry.
And it was the herds boy who saw it by the cross? Or someone...
The apothecary's wife, Gerda. Ask her yourself. She's not been herself.
Where can I find the herds boy?
Stanislav has a sheep pen in the meadow beyond the Troska.
How do I get to the hermit?
You're asking for trouble, lad. You go through Apollonia, along the path, below the rocks, and from there, you take the path uphill.
Who's this hermit fella?
No one knows. He settled in the rocks a few years back. Folk used to...
And what has he got to do?
Well, he was at death's door recently, bedridden, and then suddenly he's got his health back. And he's like a different man since then. He sends everyone... Mark my words. He sold it, and the devil sometimes comes here on the prowl.
Where did these peculiar monks come from?
Hard to say, but they rode in on wealth...
Monks on horseback?
Well, Bashka the butcher says they came from the bishop about that diabolical apparition.
What's the latest news in...
Nothing much, and I hope it...
What's the latest...
Nothing, and I hope...
What's the...
Nothing, and I hope...
What's the...
Not, and I hope...
What's the...
Not, and I hope...
What's the late...
Not, and...
What's the...
Not, and I hope...
What's the late...
Not, and I hope it stays...
I heard you've got a really fine lute.
Aye, a lovely piece, God's truth. A rich Kuttenberg gent brought it in for repair. Maybe he ran out of coin. The lute itself is worth a fair few...
Would you repair it? Tell you what, how about you sell...
I told you, it's not mine to sell. How would I explain...
But what if he never comes back? You yourself said he...
I said maybe. Do you think anyone would trust me with the repairs again if word...
Come on. Anything can be sold if the price is right.
Not this time, friend.
You really won't sell me...
How many times? No.
I'd like to ask about that
Go to hell with that.
The Lord be with you. What do you need?
What happened to the hermit?
He's been acting strange the last few days.
I hear Ambrose the hermit.
That's right. But I haven't seen it in his hut for a few years.
I hear the devil.
God above! Give over! Farewell.
I hear another apparition was seen.
Well, the cross was askew, aye. But you'll have to ask...
I heard Stanislav had some kind of nighttime vision.
Mary, mother of God. A few days ago, he ran into the village on his last legs with fear. He said he saw a diabolical horseman.
I'm looking for Lord Capon of Perkstein, my master.
Oh my God, what are you on about now? Are you sure?
What the... All right, I meant... Where did the other...
I don't know. Last I saw, he was trudging along the road to the Geleov Tavern. And thank God he's...
How's your shift?
No great shakes. The last little while, I thank God for every day without a fucker.
What's the situation with hunting?
I don't know why you're asking, but it's strictly forbidden, of course. But if you're interested in gossip, then there's poachers running around, but it's all them fucking nomads' fault. Since they came to the region, it started with stealing hens. Then the odd sheep disappeared here and there.
Why don't you drive those nuts?
Because they set up camp on the estate of old Lord Semine, and he's too soft for his own...
And the bailiff?
Bailiff Thrush has already argued with him about it a few times, but his daughter is supposed to marry young Sir Alder Semine, and meanwhile there's more thefts here than ever.
What's the local lord?
How would I know? I've only seen him a couple of times. And why are you interested?
I'm a stranger here.
Don't get too curious, fella.
We were recently attacked by robbers, here by the pond.
Aye, I heard about that, but I don't believe you one bit. Them bastards murdered a young nobleman there with his entire...
No, that's not...
Look, you better drop it. Farewell.
Lord be with you.
I'd like to ask you about something.
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Go away, please.
Easy now, Gerda. There's nothing to be afraid of. We'll get to the bottom of this mystery together.
Really? You're not going to laugh at me like all the others?
I believe you really did see something. But I want to know what it really was.
So, what do you want me to tell you?
Relax, Gerda. Have a think, and then tell me what happened.
It was the day before yesterday. It grows by the cross there, near the big dry tree. I didn't get home till after dark when I suddenly...
So you went back to the cross?
God have mercy. He hopped up right out of the ground in front. I started to scream. There was something glinting in the dark, and this clay...
That's all?
At one point I turned around, and I saw a proper flying along. It was like the devil, and heading straight...
What's this place where you saw the apparition?
It's a conciliatory cross, erected in the memory of some... They say some years ago, a young fella killed himself on account of an...
And the day after you saw the...
Aye, all askew. Everyone here saw it.
Don't worry, Gerda. Nobody's going to make fun of you anymore.
What do you think happened?
I don't know yet, but you needn't fear. Everything will get cleared up soon.
Thank you. By all the... But please, come and tell me how it turned out. I'll make it work.
Gerda really did see something. That cross hides a secret. I hear you saw some diabolical apparition.
Was it the bailiff who sent you? Or...
No. I want to go to Apolene. I've heard talk he's somehow linked to that apparition. So I need to know...
Why do you want to know? Forget that shit, pal.
Want a swig of schnapps? Or two?
If it's any good.
It's just that I don't have any...
Don't offer what you haven't got.
How was it with the diabolical apparition?
Leave me be.
Do you want to roast in hell and choke on...
But I didn't do anything.
You're not caring well for your immortal soul.
I don't know. One time I carried a lamb. All right, it was the bailiff what asked me to do it, but the good father gave... I'm not afraid for my soul, so there's no point... Take care.
How was it?
Leave me be.
I know how to deal with evil spirits.
Of course.
Say after me. Vade
retro...
Vade retro satana.
My God, what a spell. It's clear you know your stuff. What did you want to know?
What exactly did you see that night at the...
A diabolical apparition. A black rider on a black horse flew into his eyes glowed, and his horse was black as charcoal. He turned this to the hermit's place, I'm sure.
He turned this way and that? That's strange.
I'm telling the truth. Gerda from the apothecary.
But the hermit helps people though, doesn't he?
Aye, he did. Only now they're saying he was at death's door and sold his soul to...
Why? Why would the old man have sold his...
Who knows what's going on in them rocks? Farewell, my friend.
Heal! Quick! Ka! Oh. The conciliatory cross. A memorial to the unfortunate death of that young man. But I'm more interested in what secrets it conceals now.
Fresh soil. Someone was digging here recently. It doesn't look like an apparition, Gerda. He didn't take either the coin or the books. So it wasn't a thief. It must be something else he was after.
I'll show you.
Ah! Bringing a weapon to a fist fight, eh? You prick! I'll show you! Come on then!
that beast!
You won't get me. Show your stuff. You know my first fucker. Think you can face me, do you? Fuck you! I'm all yours.
Mart! Sick!
Take that! Christ! Show your stuff! Fuck you!